We've got some Japanese here.
Thanks very much. Thanks for coming, everybody. So tonight we'll talk about three main things, and hopefully that will persuade you to vote for me on Saturday. Firstly, I'm going to introduce a few small changes which I think can be made quite easily to the JCR and to college, which will make life quite a lot easier for a lot of people. Then I'll move on to some longer term issues which have already been touched on by Danny, and hopefully persuade you that I'm someone that can bring those changes in. And then finally end on why I think that I'll be the person to make this JCR what it could be. So first of all, the short term things, you may have seen them on the Facebook pages. I'd like to change the way the VAC-res works. Signing in every day when you're in college is a bit unnecessary, and it ends up with people sort of wasting money on VAC-res, and that's really not the idea of the policy. So I think that needs to be changed. We could also quite easily introduce an online system which has your number of days that you've got left. I mean, they must have that spreadsheet sitting around somewhere, so to put that online is not going to be very difficult. And then more long term would be to move that to an online booking system, so you don't have to have loads of sheets of paper flying around college, and that must be a pain for the people in the offices as well. So secondly, I'd like to sort of mix up the laundry system. Again, that's been on the Facebook page, and I've recently spoke with the domestic secretaries, and they're introducing the baskets for wet clothes, which I think is a great idea. But I also think it would be nice to introduce another online system. Jesus College have got it, Magdalen have got it, and that allows you to see which laundry machines are being used in college, see which ones are free, so you don't have to walk around carrying your dirty laundry and letting everyone see your underwear. Yeah, and that's using the same system. It's using laundry serve, so you can top up online. It's not very difficult to change. It's the same contract we're already using, so to upgrade would not be particularly difficult. And then there are a couple of things like the late gate. I think that could be updated. Poor Chris on his crutches. That's a bit of a faff to get through there with him. And if you're dressed up for a nice evening and stuff, and you're traipsing through with suits and dresses, it's not the most glamorous way to exit or enter college at the end of the night. And then the bike scheme, I think that could be rejuvenated. But these are a lot of different things which I don't think would take much, but could be changed and really benefit a lot of people if some attention was paid to them. Moving on to some more longer term goals. Danny just briefly mentioned it. The ethical investments, I think that's something that's really important to JCR. It's been raised a lot of times in meetings, and it comes up year after year after year, and JCR presidents are doing a lot to go some way towards it, but there's so much secrecy sort of surrounding it that kind of makes me really want to realise what is behind it all, and see if we can sort out why these investments are like this. And for a college which is so rich as us, we don't need to be investing in such unethical projects. Another thing for me, I'm really passionate about the living wage in St John's. To be paying some of our staff less than the living wage by one of the most rich colleges in one of the best universities in the world just seems ridiculous to me. By paying people less than, it's not even like a luxurious wage. They're not going to be able to go out on nice evenings. It's not even enough to live. That's the wage that we're not even paying them. It's actually below that. I mean, I think that's just ridiculous. So I'd like to liaise with college. I think that's something that can be done with a bit more force behind it. And then, of course, the common room. That's something that needs to be addressed in college, and something which I'd like to attend to. And alongside that, the rent negotiations, which Christina already mentioned, that's a really important thing, and it affects everybody in college. So I think those are items which may be a bit more long term, and it's important that we don't lose the progress that has been made this year, and that we do focus on making sure that those things stay high in our minds. And I'd like to go on to the cap proposal, which I think has been particularly popular. And I do genuinely think this is possible. I was speaking to Debs in the bar just earlier, and she was saying that she remembers 2 college cats which have been here in the past, looked after by a head scout, fed by the head scout, and the first thing people ask me when I say I think we should get a cat is, well, who's going to look after in the holidays? And then I say, well, the cat rep's going to be responsible for it. And they say, well, can I be a cat rep? And while Scott is currently pretty high in the running for that, I think there could be some good competition with that. So yeah, I know there's a lot of things, like I've come here with policies which I think can change JCR, and I hopefully think that can influence you in voting for me. I want to do some things, I want to change some things up, but I will be committed to the role, and I'm going to put a lot of time into it if I was successful. So yeah, thanks very much, and hopefully vote for me on Saturday. Cheers.